Hello, everybody. Pearlo Wisdom here. And I didn't know I was going to be able to do this stream. I actually had some stuff going on today. I had a work that I had to do and it canceled. So here we are. I decided to just come and spread frolic in all the land and talk about hockey. I will be doing a live stream tonight with the Ice Guys. I think it starts at 5 or something like that. I don't know, but I'll probably be on most of the evening if they'll allow me. And we do some live betting. We talk betting. Some of the best in the land, best cappers you're going to find there on the Ice Guys. And I'm always honored to be able to go on their show. And it's not like, honestly, it's nothing overly special. Anybody can go. If you want to go on, you can go. So they let me go on. I asked them to go on. They send me a link, and I do live stuff. I have a lot of fun. It's good times. It isn't PG though. I'll tell you that. It's not like horribly swearing all the time, but you can swear. And they talk about a lot of adult topics. So just so you know, before you go, just to be aware. Okay. This past weekend, I got my ass kicked. I'm not going to say it any other way. I'm not going to say it any other way. I just got my ass kicked this weekend. Yesterday. What the heck was yesterday? I'm going to remind myself now. I write this down. Helen, could you write this down for me, please? Next long weekend, Monday, for family day and all that stuff like that, I ain't playing shit. Unless it's the only pick I got right were the Bruins -1.5. Unless it's somebody like the Bruins that you can trust, like the Florida Panthers. I won't talk about each game. Something I've noticed over time that I really got to take more seriously when you're looking at these long weekend spots, especially when it's a family day and all that kind of stuff like that. Different players play different when you're talking about family. Some, it's nerves. There's a whole lot of emotions that go around when you're talking about family. Like some people have, loved ones that have passed and they're a little bit depressed. It seems goaltenders really can go either way. Like Gibson last night for Florida, he stopped 3 of 51 shots, and they were like not easy. Most of them were pretty solid scoring chances. He just went off. On the other side of the thing, Bobrovsky, although Bobrovsky does that often, he allows 4 in like 22 and didn't look good. The Panthers got 4, right? Because they scored in overtime. And didn't look good. I don't know if that has anything to do with that. In the case of Bobrovsky, probably not. He's Bobrovsky. He's inconsistent, and that's the way it is. But it's something to keep an eye on. And until I get it a little more dialed in, I seem to lose in these spots quite a bit. Panthers really should have just annihilated the Ducks yesterday. Annihilated. They ended up getting the win. The Ducks are playing loose, and that's something we have to look at. You have to look at now. We're getting down to this time of the season. Like, for instance, the Bruins yesterday against the Senators could have easily mailed it in. They're way ahead, but it just seems like this year they want to put a stamp on every game. I'm not sure if that's wise in the long term, but as far as for the playoffs and stuff is concerned, but this team, but the Bruins obviously came into camp in everyone in immaculate shape. Like they look like they're barely huffing out there when they're beating teams like the Ottawa Senators, who always put up a fight, but they get it done, and they get it done. It seems like they don't use all that much energy compared to other teams. It's crazy. So, I mean, I should have, what I should have did is I should have looked at that, because now, here we go, the Kraken game, okay? I'm going to look at the box score on this one. I did not know this, but, okay, first of all, they're without Hurdle. The Sharks, that is. The Sharks were without Hurdle, and they're without Meyer, which is basically their whole offense. Like, it's they have, look at, let's bring up where's my cap friendly? There we go. Let's bring up the Sharks. And I obviously I had the Kraken here, right? So that's why I'm showing you this. They were without Hurdle and Meyer, but this was a father, like all the fathers apparently were there already on the trip, and now they were the first one home. And it's like President's Day or whatever, but in Canada it's Family Day, and we call it like 3 different things. We're so weird that way. Like, don't, instead of calling a day 3, give us 2 more holidays, man. Come on, what are you doing? Give us 3 days off. That would be nice. So they didn't have, look at their depth chart here. Timo Meyer and Thomas Hurdle are both right around a point a game, okay? The players that they had playing, like Michael Eastamont, were not even close. Logan Couture looks like he's heading towards maybe, a 60-point season or something like that is normal stuff. And Barabanov, who I like, is nowhere close to that. Gregory Noah was on the second line, and Nick Bonino and Martin Kaut. Like, this is not a team that should be beating anyone at any time. But, again, for one game, when all the fathers are there, these guys get to be able to go out there and say, I'm going to do it for Dad. I didn't know. Svechnikov was all over the place last night. He was playing insane. Like, better than I've ever seen him play. He got the opportunity. His dad's there. You're going to go and let it flow, man. And they did. I didn't know. If I would have known that, I wonder if I would have stayed off the game. But I got to actually, somehow I should be able to get that information or find that information or whatever. And if I do find that information, I think you got to put it in the tank there in your head and go, you know what? Like, yeah, he scored a goal. Logan Couture potted one. Noah Gregory, I just mentioned, had like 3 all year. And Svechnikov gets a goal and assist. And now Michael Eastamont, too, who they got from the Winnipeg Jets, gets that opportunity up there and pots one. Now, something crazy happened in this game. The Kraken, what's his name? Yanni Gord, scored a goal off the faceoff in his own net. That sucks. Like, the other team didn't touch the puck. He won the faceoff back towards the goaltender, who was Jones, of course. Why am I taking anybody when Jones is in net? That's the thing that pisses me off even more, because I knew Jones was in net, but I took them anyways. It was a great spot for Seattle. I mean, I think San Jose was coming off an Eastern road trip even. Yeah, they were. I just said they were coming off a road trip. Like, Seattle had 4 days off. They should have been rested. Where's San Jose? Okay, no, I'm sorry. They weren't coming off a road trip. They played Pittsburgh, then Vegas, then home and played Buffalo. So it wasn't, at least it wasn't coming off a road trip. Okay. And like I said, the fathers were there. They had the energy. You had Everlay to get 3 shots. I had 3 players on Seattle to get a point. I got my ass kicked yesterday, Seattle. It was disgusting. I'm going over it right now. I just got crushed. I had like 1, maybe 2 picks right. I had Florida ML and over 5.5 right, but I also had Florida minus 1.5. I had over 7 because you couldn't get in on a 6, so that pushed. My shot props came in for Florida. I had Verhaeghe over 3.5 shots and Kachuk over 3.5 shots, so that came in. But besides that, like I just got mauled to death yesterday, and my Sunday wasn't all that great either. Saturday was good. Sunday wasn't all that great either. I had the over in the Flyers Calgary game. I didn't have a side, but I did lean the Flyers, but I didn't play it. I just don't trust Calgary at all. I just don't. Sutter has got that team all wired up, and it's just like he did in LA. I had the Kraken. How are you not taking the Kraken there? A couple days off, no Meyer, no Hurdle. I mean, how the fuck are you losing that game? The Kraken, they need to win. They're not set in there. That's just a terrible game to lose. Terrible. And same as this one, the Islanders versus Pittsburgh. But that was Jari. And that's it. I'm off of Jari. And Pittsburgh's not making the playoffs. Markstrom, he did. He is awful. He's awful. Sutter is not good for Markstrom, man. That's a laid-back dude. I think, Sutter coming down on all these guys like this, and some of them are, some players, they respond to that, and other players, they get all wired up. And Markstrom looks all wired up on the ice. He looks like he's just, he's just absolute, no confidence whatsoever. And I'm sorry, I was never really huge on Markstrom, even when they got him. I mean, but he'll go through stretches where he's amazing. But I have to say, they got to get a different coach, man. It's just not working there at all. It's not. And also, I imagine Treliving will end up. Do you remember when they got Sutter? He was like, this is what this team needs. This team needs Sutter. No. He came out in public and he said it. And I mean, when Sutter was in LA, there's a stretch. Actually, even when they weren't scoring, his possession numbers are fantastic. His zone time numbers are fantastic for whatever team he coaches. But he gets them all riled up, and in the sense, they play tight. His last 2 years in LA couldn't score to save their life. And he kept on coming out and saying, well, they got to go in eventually, or he'd say, it's up to them. They got to figure it out. They're the one, it's basically they're responsible for scoring, which is true. However, a coach is supposed to create an environment that is conducive to players playing loose and still hard at the same time. And Sutter just doesn't seem to be able to do that. He was great for the old clutch and grab days and shit like that, where nobody was able to score, so he'd win 2-1 a lot and stuff like that. But not to mention he had, Quick as a freaking in his prime, so that helps out a lot. But, I mean, he's great at X's and O's. He knows what the other team is going to do, and he's great at possession, but it's always been a problem. His teams, eventually either can't score, and in this case with Calgary, they can't defend. And that defense should be fine. It's mostly the goaltending. It's just not working. Markstrom is not comfortable in that environment in Calgary. That's what I want to say. Now, for the Islanders and Penguins, the Islanders should have won that game. The Penguins should have won that game. I had the Penguins. They outshot them. They outplayed them. Everything. It's just the whole Jarry situation comes back to bite them in the ass. If it's a big game, more often than not, Jarry's going to flub it. And he flubbed it last night. I didn't watch it, but I hear that he flubbed it. I actually ended up falling asleep last night in the middle of one of the games. I couldn't believe it. I did a lot of, I'm moving trailers right now. Like I'm doing unloading trailers. And I had to do some freaking badass ones yesterday. I was freaking done. I was exhausted. But Horvat scores a goal. I mean, you've got them up. They're 2-1 in the third. If things go, the third period, Jarry, pressure situation. They need this win, something fierce. Looking towards 3 goals in, I don't know, how many shots were they? I wish they would tell you that. How many shots per period? They don't tell you that here. But I'm guessing I would not. I didn't watch this game, but I wouldn't be surprised if he should have had at least one of these, at least, probably 2. And Brock Nelson, Bo Horvat, Anders Lee, they come out flying, I guess, and Penguins can't do anything. Now I don't like their defense either, but this was a must-win game, man. Must-win game at home against an Islanders team that hasn't been able to score worth a shit. And now all of a sudden they pot 4 on you? That's brutal. Brutal. And they were kind of rested. And Pittsburgh was too. So, I mean, that's your season right there. I seriously, they got to play New Jersey after this, on a back-to-back. We're going to talk about that later. At home on a back-to-back. I mean, I'm not taking. I haven't looked at the juice, but I know I'll probably be taking New Jersey. I'm fading Pittsburgh. When I see those must-win games, if you remember, there was one. I've been correct a couple times and wrong once. There was a win that Edmonton had to have to show character, and I said they're done. They're not going to make the playoffs. And I was wrong because it looks like they're going to. But there was one for Calgary, and as well. I think there was 2 actually. You could even put last night's game in there. But I said they're not making it. There's certain games that really spell the character of a team. That really say, this is a team with character that can push through and make it into a playoff spot. And Calgary didn't have it. And this is one for me for Pittsburgh. That was a must-win game. Must-win game. And to me, it's just the goaltending is not good enough. They're not going to be able to make it with that goaltending. Just not. I don't think so. So, next, what other ass kicking did I take last night? Let's go look at all the ass kicking Pearlo took last night. Jets and Rangers. Yeah, the Rangers outshoot them. I mean, the Rangers, Hollebuck just went out of his head. What are you going to do? 51-21 and you lose 4-1. Wow. That's brutal. I lost a shitload on this game. This was a great spot for the Rangers. I thought for sure they're going to come out and crush, and they did. But are we starting to wonder about Shesterkin now? I mean, these were not, they weren't goals that maybe you could say, well, it's like people will say, well, you can't put that one on the goaltender. Yeah, but it's just Shesterkin. He's not stopping pucks he used to stop. Let's put it that way. This year, it hasn't been his greatest year. His numbers are still like above average, but but he's having more and more games like this where the Rangers, where he's not stopping pucks, and you're like, what? That's Tarasenko did that? What the hell? But I thought he'd be good enough in this one, and you outshoot your opponent 51-21. I think the high scoring chances, same as that Florida game. Florida game, there was like 17 high. What the hell am I trying to say? High danger. Jesus. High danger scoring chances or something like that for Florida, and they only, they caught 4 of them. That game should have been over. They were destroying them, and same as the Rangers here. I fell asleep, like I said. Maybe you can tell me, but from what I saw, they were controlling the game like they were just blowing the shit out of the Jets. And I had the Rangers in regulation. I took a live over 6.5. The way the game was flowing, it looked like this is going to be over all day. I didn't get that. I had Rangers team total over. Didn't get that. Oh, I think I lost like 23 units yesterday. It was brutal. Yeah, second time as a coach for Calgary, yeah. And the last time he was a coach of Calgary, he couldn't score. I think that was after LA, or was it before LA or something like that? It's the same. He's had the same philosophy. It hasn't changed at all. His philosophy is get lots of shots on goal, play a high possession game. If you outpossess the opposition and you outshoot them, you should win. But the problem is, it's true. I mean, that's true, no doubt about that. But the problem is while he's doing that, he shames and beats everybody down all the frickin' time. And guys play tight. They play tight. Who does well when you're shamed? You know what I mean? Who excels feeling like a piece of shit? Who? Nobody. Like, the guy doesn't fucking get it, man. You got to lift the guys up. Every once in a while, you come down on them. My favorite coach, I still think he might be the best coach of this generation, is John Tortorella. And I've listened to everything. I've listened to him talk. He doesn't do many interviews. He's not a people person, as you can probably tell, which is funny because he's a coach. But he does interviews and stuff like that, and he talks about, like, somebody asked him once about, that yelling at his players, and they think he's just some hard ass. And he said, really, the only time I really yell at players, in certain situations, certain times maybe it might be like, what the fuck you doing there, or whatever, occasionally, in that way. But for the most part, he really only yells at his players when they look like they don't believe in themselves. That's the only time he really gets angry at his players, if they look like they don't believe in themselves. And and then he'll yell at them, but he'll yell at them in a sense of like, I'm not standing for this. You guys made it to the NHL. You got here. You had to go through everything you did to get here, and now you get here and you don't believe in yourself? I'm not standing for that. We can go out there and lose, but we're going to lose believing we can win every single game. Imagine, do you think Sutter ever says that? I bet you never does Sutter ever say something like that. Like if you listen to him talk, his idea is I think his idea is that you don't want people being too confident or something. I don't know, but it doesn't work. His X's and O's work. I'd have him as an assistant coach, run the power play, penalty kill, and all that stuff like that, but it just don't work. Okay, let's look at the games for tonight. And I haven't really looked at these at all. Carolina in regulation. I mean, how do you not take Carolina in regulation? Except it's super juicy, so you probably got to take it puck line. Is St. Louis going to wake up now? Is St. Louis going to wake up now and get over the fact that they lost Tarasenko and their spiritual leader and captain, and win this game against Carolina? I mean, I don't see it happening. Not to mention, they just played 4 games in 6 nights. It was on the road. Then they had a day off, 20th. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games in 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, what am I talking about? Oh, that's not St. Louis. Maybe count St. Louis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that right? 8. 8 days. 5 games in 8 days. And Carolina. Hello, whoever just came in. Torts is great, yeah. I know, yeah, you're a Flyers fan. Now you know for sure how great he is, right? I love him. I love him, I love him, I love him. Yeah. It's either him or Brindamore, my favorite coach, now that we're talking about Carolina. But so Carolina just spanked the shit out of Washington. Really, that score wasn't really an indication of it. Wasn't even that close. Like Washington's obviously depressed. Ovechkin's gone and stuff like that. It should have been a letdown spot against Montreal, and no letdown for you. Beat the shit out of you. So this could be, I suppose, because it's like after the outdoor game and stuff like that, to be a letdown spot, but I'm not going against Carolina. No. What do they have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It doesn't even go down. How many games have they won? They've won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14. They've lost 2 in their last 14 games. And their loss was one against Vancouver. I can't remember what happened there. They got some bad goaltending, I believe. Against the Rangers, they were in a sandwich spot. And I believe the Rangers just got Tarasenko or something like that too. So now you're telling me that after that outdoor game, they're going to have a letdown and lose to St. Louis? I can't see it, man. So give me Carolina -1.5. And I don't think St. Louis is going to be able to score shit here. What's their game logs? Have they been scoring? Oh, yeah, they have. They were scoring just before O'Reilly left, and then after O'Reilly left, it hit home with them. It really hit home. They lost 7-2. They lost Colorado 4-1. I mean, Carolina could clean them, I suppose, but considering it's a letdown spot, I would say under. I think Carolina may take a little bit to get going after the outdoor game. So, but I mean, You can't take anybody other than Carolina. Oh, just 1 second. Hello? Yeah. Right now? Oh, okay. I'll go do it. Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I got a call. I'm gonna have to do this quick. So I'm gonna have to do this quick now. I ended up getting some work I didn't expect to get. Okay, cool. Let's just keep on going though. I have to talk a little faster now. Go through these games a little quicker. So, anyways, yeah, Carolina. I don't know if I'm wrong. I'm wrong, I guess. Montreal versus New Jersey, same sort of thing. Montreal they can play hard. They got Montembeault in net. Montembeault's going to be in net for this. So if Montembeault's going to be in net, I like the under. He's just playing so well. He's playing lights out, actually. And New Jersey, I don't believe, is scoring all that much. Oh, they're 8-1-1 against Montreal in the last 10. They just beat. So yeah, Montreal's just getting spanked every game. Now that could change here, but see, they scored 5 against Tokarski. I mean, my mom could score 5 on Tokarski, so that doesn't mean much. The only the game against St. Louis was the last game O'Reilly played. They only got 3 versus Columbus. Then see, they were pretty much playing on the under with Montembeault and net. I think they probably will again. So I would kind of lean. I would go the under here, and New Jersey. Oh, what's the juice is probably brutal. I don't see they're juicing everything up here. I think Montreal could keep it somewhat close though. I think it's possible. I think they could keep it close. They got to be getting pretty angry about taking all these losses. Although it's 3 games in 4 nights for them and 4 games in 6. Nah, New Jersey wins all day. New Jersey wins all day. New Jersey -1.5 is still -145. Holy shit. I can't go team total over because Montembeault's in net. New Jersey minus, wonder what, 0.5 first period, possibly. So a look that you might want to look at. Probably look at some New Jersey props. I can't really get into them now because I got to speed this up, but it's off the top of my head. Hughes is back, right? So Hughes is back. It's probably shot props, or Hughes shot props or something like that. But New Jersey -1.5 is -145. That is just shit. I don't like taking team total over with Montembeault. Maybe the under is the best play. Vanacek, I believe, is going to be in net. I think maybe the under is the best play there. Tampa Bay versus Anaheim. Look at the juice on this shit. Woo! -500. -500. Anaheim coming off a back-to-back, playing Dostal, who can surprise you. But and the thing about playing goaltenders like this in these spots is a goaltender is much better when the other team hasn't played them before. And I'm pretty sure Tampa Bay has not played Dostal before. So that's going to make it a little bit difficult. But that being said, minus 2.5 Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, I don't think they're taking this lightly in the sense that not light enough. I mean, and they haven't been doing it all that much this year, taking it lightly. I think Anaheim's just going to be completely out of gas. That Florida game, well, they have like 56 shots or something like that. If I see Tampa Bay doing pretty much the same thing without even really trying. The only thing I think might happen here, though, I'll take the over 6.5. But my concern is that Tampa Bay just doesn't want to get injured in this game. And they'll do that sometimes, but they usually do it on the road. And what they'll do is they'll just shoot from the point, try to get tip-ins and stuff like that. They won't be grinding in the front of the net and all that kind of stuff like that. But I'll take over 6.5, and I imagine Tampa Bay minus point. How about this? Tampa Bay first period over 1.5 team total. That'll probably give you so. That's probably a pretty good play because I think Anaheim's just going to be over 2.5 second period. I can't believe the over 2.5. That was another one I had. I had Florida team total over 2.5. No, it's not team total. Florida versus Anaheim over 2.5 second period. I can't believe that didn't go over. Like, it was ridiculous. Just one of those nights. Detroit versus Washington. Detroit is like winning first periods constantly all the time. I don't know what the exact numbers are on it, but I just noticed because I always like to watch the first period of every game. And it's either I don't think they've actually lost one in the first period for like 8 or 9 games or something like that. With this Washington team without Ovechkin and the way they've been kind of playing, this is the 5th game of a road trip for Detroit. So I'm not really, wanting to run to take Detroit here either. I think it's tough. I could actually see a draw. Here. But I think Detroit money line first period would be the way to go. At the very least, you'll probably get a push. I think it's a very low chance that Washington comes out and just outright beats Detroit in the first period here. So that would be my play for that. As far as total is concerned, I don't have a good read on it. I think there's, if I remember correctly, they play to the over a lot. No, they play to the under a lot. Washington, I believe, because they haven't been able to score. Yeah, Washington has been playing to the under quite a bit against teams Eastern. Florida, I mean, everybody plays over to Florida, right? Carolina twice. That was the outdoor game, so. The thing is, Detroit, on the other hand, has been scoring a shitload on this road trip. 5, 6, 5, 5. So I probably wouldn't touch the total. If I had to, yeah, I wouldn't touch the total. I would sprinkle a little bit on the draw, though. I think I could see a draw. I could see Detroit's legs starting to wear in the third, and Washington comes back and ties it up or something like that. How many games we got? Holy crap, we got a lot. Toronto versus Buffalo. It's a bad spot for Toronto. They're playing 3 games in 4 nights. But the thing is, Buffalo has a shitty home record. They play really nervous at home every single time. Now, if they come and all of a sudden play like they mean something here in this game, I'll be pissed. But if you ever go to a Buffalo game when Toronto's playing, it might as well be a home game. Because all the Buffalo Sabres fans, all guys want to go watch the Leafs in Buffalo. And all the Buffalo Sabres season ticket holders, they sell their tickets at like high prices to Toronto fans. And it's like going to a home game. I hate the juice, but not really. I'm -1.5 at +145. I think I would go there. Um, I just have a feeling that Toronto's going to get on a run and not stop here. I really think that they want to get they want to feel like they can take on the world by the time that first round comes. And so I'm going to take Toronto in regulation, but more than that, I'm on the over. Over 6.5. I think if Toronto's going to win this game, Buffalo will get theirs. I think they're like 5-2, something like that. The thing that scares me about this is the professor, stats professor, Professor MJ. He's got Buffalo. I hate it when I see that because he's really good. But LA versus Minnesota, I'll keep it short. LA's been really rolling right now, but they've been rolling over some pretty sad competition, and they haven't had a terrible. They've had a really easy schedule. This is just a gut here. I think Minnesota wins. Over under, forget about it. I don't want to talk about it because I suppose if you think Minnesota wins, you go the under. If you think LA is going to win, you go the over. Because Minnesota's been playing unders like crazy. But LA's been an over team. So it's a clash of an over and an under team going together. So you probably don't want to play the total. It probably is that. But this is a desperate spot for Minnesota. LA's been having some really easy competition, and now they're going to come up against a team that they can grind it, man. Minnesota's got the legs to keep up with these Los Angeles forwards as well. The only thing I don't like about it is I heard it was Fleury in net. No, it's Gustafsson. Yeah, as long as Gustafsson's in net, we'll go Minnesota on that one. Predators versus Canucks. I don't care. Decide here. Like, I don't trust either one of these teams. I suppose I'll take Nashville. We'll just Saros has been given a break now, and I'll just take Saros over whoever the Canucks put in there. But I am going the over on this game as well. And Predators are not a team that I usually would go over with. But the Canucks will find a way to go over. They just will. They suck. Defensively, they have no goaltender. Their defense is abysmal. You bring Tocchet in so you can change things up. Change what up? I don't care what system you put in there. You can put Tortorella, Trotz. You can take whatever coach you want. They're not getting that defense to stop pucks, man. Just, no. Or goaltending. It's not happening. So, Predators. I'll take the Predators, and more so, I'll take the over, I guess. And what do we got? Vegas versus I gotta go Vegas here. I don't know what's Laurent Brossoit going to be. He's been playing in the minors for a long time. He's been playing in the minors. His numbers are okay. It's his big chance. Is that a good thing for Brossoit? And what I've noticed with Brossoit is that I think it will be for him. When he needs to prove himself, he usually plays really well. If I remember back in... but what happens, it seems, is that he gets too comfortable sometimes. And once he starts getting comfortable, the numbers start falling. But a 2.72 and a 9.09 is not that great. But in the AHL, it's not bad. Because they don't play much defense in the AHL. The reason why most of the players are in the AHL is they don't know how to play defense in the NHL. So it's not terrible. I think he could do enough here to beat a Chicago team. How much does Chicago care about this game? How much does Chicago care about this game, really? Vegas, you could say the same about Vegas, I suppose. I got to look up history matchup just a little bit. 7-2-1 record. Right, 7-2-1 record against Chicago. Did Vegas lose their last game? No, they won it. They haven't played in 22 days. They're on a 3-game winning streak. They spanked Anaheim. They barely beat San Jose, and they beat Tampa. This could be a letdown spot. You know, Chicago has won their last 2. They're sort of playing for Kaner right now, right? Because I think they know that he's probably going to go out on his way. Sort of like what St. Louis was doing with O'Reilly. Something makes me feel like Chicago might pull this out, but I can't bet them with Mrazek in net. God, no. God, no. Maybe an over. Vegas isn't really an over team. Chicago has been trending over. Vegas has kind of trended over too. Yeah, maybe go over on that game. Can we get a 6? Can you show me a 6? No, 6.5. Shit. Yeah, plus money. Throw a unit on that. Throw a unit on that. Philadelphia, Edmonton. I hate Edmonton. It's my favorite team. Edmonton should just absolutely destroy this game. Period. No doubt about it. Like, should. I say should. If they come out and skate like they can skate, now they lost to Philadelphia in Philadelphia, and I said in that game that was a letdown spot for Edmonton, and they probably aren't going to have their legs. If they have their legs, though, Philadelphia doesn't have a chance in freaking hell. There's no way. No, shouldn't. They shouldn't have a chance in hell. Coming off a back-to-back. Has it been 3 games and 4 nights for them, too? Please tell me it is. No, it hasn't. But it's what? Yeah, it is. 3 games and 4 nights. Like 4 games and 6 nights. If Edmonton doesn't win this game, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous. So I'm taking Edmonton minus 1.5, and then I'll probably hate myself tomorrow. But how do you not play, even though a team can be inconsistent like Edmonton, how do you not play a team in that spot against, you know, they are in a playoff spot. Philadelphia is a shit team. What do they got? They're probably putting Hart. It's Hart on the road. Hart's terrible on the road still. So I'd take Edmonton minus 1.5 and the over for sure. Even though it's 7. I got it in at 6.5. I got it in at 6.5, but I don't know. I hate 7s, but sprinkle a bit, but I'll take Edmonton minus 1.5 at minus 130. I don't like that juice, but minus 140. Oh, shit. They should be able to kill the team total over. Minus 0.5 first period. They have been having good first periods all of a sudden. So I got to go now. All right. I wish I could stay, but I can't. Talk to y'all later. Have a great day. Okay. Bye.